Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ring Rundown. I am your host, Matt Willis, here, joined by Mitch, Kobie, and Kevin McCoy. Today, guys, how are you doing?
Doing pretty well. It's a nice day outside. Can't complain. How about you guys?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's finally being all right and consistent.
Well, hold on. I wouldn't go that far.
No, look at the weather. Look at the weather.
It has been warm, but at the same time, it has been warm and then 30, then 70, then 30,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
70,
But
30.
look at it now. There's like one
It
more.
is 70 again.
There's like 50 potential, and then it should be 70.
Should be. I hope. I need some more. I need some more warmth in my life. But we're here today, finally getting another episode out, and it is WrestleMania season. And I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited. We got a good show brewing in a couple weeks here, but I wanted to come on and do an episode today of our favorite WrestleMania moments, that whether it be we've gotten to experience them, whether we got to just all time, some of our favorites of what's occurred. So I guess let's just get straight into it. Whoever wants to take the floor first, what's one of your top moments that you want to think about on the top of your head right now?
I can go first. This is one of my favorite moments. It's actually one of the first moments I remember. And it comes from WrestleMania 31 in the main event.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the ones I wanted to talk about.
I figure it's kind of a lot of people's one of their favorite moments. But Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, I remember that build and everything leading up to that Mania. And at the time, I thought Brock was going to win because I'm like, Roman, it just doesn't look like he's going to do it. And then even during the match, it was like, oh, Roman's just getting dogged the whole match. So at the end of the match, where you hear Seth Rollins music just plays, and then he runs down and then cashes in the Money in the Bank, I literally was so shocked. Like, I didn't even think he could cash in at WrestleMania because it never was done before. So that literally, I think that's might be my number one favorite moment at WrestleMania all the time.
Yeah, no, that was definitely crazy. I remember I was too young to realize how crazy that was, because that was the first Mania I actually got to witness. I actually got to watch 31. That was the first one I seen.
I was saying for me.
As 12-year-old me, what just happened?
Literally, that's how I felt the same way. Cause I was like, how did it just turn from a one-on-one match to a triple threat match? I was so shocked. When I was younger. And
it was the first cash in the main event of WrestleMania.
And he did it successfully too.
Yeah,
they able to walk out. Cause like I said, I thought Brock was gonna walk out with the title, but seeing Seth walk out, that was a complete curveball. I didn't even think Seth could. I didn't think he was gonna cash in at that night. I thought maybe the Raw after, maybe the SmackDown, but not at Mania.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm not going to lie. My WrestleMania experience is 39, 40, 41.
That's
so
fair.
I got the past 3 years. I mean, I've been watching for a while, but when I was a kid, I could not tell you. I was watching during the pure PG era.
Mm-hmm.
So it was rough, and I was 6.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I have to brew on it because I have one in my mind, but that's my number one.
Do you want to go for it?
I can just go for it.
Drop it now.
The second part of Cody versus Roman is probably my favorite.
Of the bloodline rules at 40.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah,
nice.
that was probably my favorite moment out of WrestleMania history that I've experienced.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. Having what was it? It started with the Usos, then you had Solo, and then Cena, and then The Rock, and then Undertaker. That was just
crazy, yeah.
That was nuts. I felt like it was definitely more than it needed to be, but at the same time, it also just felt right.
Well, I feel for 40, you kind of had to go big and bold.
Of course.
40,
it was the end of Roman's historic reign too. You had to go all out for that.
And then you had the night before, there was so much building to this that you probably can't ever replicate because of what all you need. You need for one, you need Cody Rhodes to leave WWE, come back successful. And then you need Roman Reigns to have this reign for 1,000+ days. The Rock to be available. All of it just fit perfectly together. They had that night one main event that was, I honestly didn't watch it live.
I
watched
didn't
it
either.
After the fact.
I was so tired. I was watching that night one, and then I remember I worked that morning, and I was just dead tired, and I just passed out during that tag team match. But I wanted to watch it for sure. It was on, but I woke up and I was like, "Oh, The Rock and Roman won." Figured.
Yeah, it wasn't from when I watched it after the fact. It wasn't a great, it was fine. Mm-hmm. It was serviceable, but the second part made up for all the problems I had with the first main event.
Yeah, I would say though, like part of what made it not as good was if the tag team match at 39 on night one didn't occur between like the Usos losing to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Had that not happened literally the year prior, probably a different story. That tag team match probably looks better at 40.
You would like it to be moved back and both of them lose?
No. I'm saying like because WrestleMania 39 night one main event was, like I said, the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And that match was fantastic. Like that was one of the best tag team matches ever at WrestleMania.
That was going to be another one of the moments I had brought up.
Yeah.
Agree.
So we can get into that next. But like had that match not happened literally the year prior, and then the next year is the Rock and Roman against Seth and Cody. This Seth and Cody match probably looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm not saying, like, again, I'm not saying it was a bad match, but it would have shined a little more had the high expectations from the year prior not been, even if it was just 2 years prior, then better.
Well, I think about it too. I think that might have been like the Rock's first match back in like
it
a
was.
while. Like
that's been his only match.
I think since Cena at like almost like 10, 15 years ago. So
well, you can't forget the 2015 at WrestleMania 32
against Eric Rowan for 6 seconds.
Yeah, that 3-second match. But it was his first real match since WrestleMania 29 with Cena.
And I was like, just for that, kind of like it was a kind of a spectacle because you don't really get to see The Rock perform that often.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I was like, not no more.
So, Mitch, you did mention another match you want to talk about was that Mania 39 match between the Usos and Kevin and Sami.
I mean, this match played a lot into the role of me getting back into wrestling because I don't know what, like, I can't tell you exactly what got me back into it, but I know it was something on like social media, whether it was, I think probably what it was the, I think it was Cody Rhodes' return with like the pec, and then I like kind of divulged more and more into it.
Yeah,
and right around that time was when Sami Uso was a thing,
Oh yeah,
doing that thing, which was odd at some points, but it was fun for the most part.
It was.
And then you have like all of that story just like paid off really good that first night of 39.
I agree. Yeah, like that tag match again, like probably one of my favorite tag matches at Mania. And then I just love seeing like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that whole storyline like they've been playing out for like the last like 10 years, like kind of like a will they, won't they, their friends and their enemies going back and forth. And it's always nice when they actually get to come together and be friends and for them to win the tag championships in the main event. It felt very, very wholesome and like a sweet moment.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match, like I mentioned already, but that was just such spectacular, Mitch. Like you said, there's the story and the build up for that with the Sami Uso finally leaving the bloodline, and that match alone led to the downfall of the bloodline as well. I mean,
that breakup from like Sami getting kicked out of the bloodline was like probably one of like the best things I've seen in wrestling. Yeah, just like the execution of everything. Like the crowd was super loud for it. Super good.
Yeah, I really did like that.
Although not at WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, that was at Royal Rumble, but that was, I mean, planting the seeds there, having that match for the title, Sami against Roman at Elimination Chamber. It was a fine build. It was really good.
I really did like the build up all the way to 39. Yeah. Even with the Usos and Sami, like I think it was Jay and Sami kind of bickering at first when he started the bloodline, and then Jay finally warming up to him for them to having to Sami betray them. So it kind of felt bad even on the Uso side where it's like they didn't really want to have to fight Sami, but they got to listen to big Roman,
Yeah, of course.
I listen to the tribal chief.
Yeah, and now that is being played in today with the Roman and Punk match too, with like Punk getting at Roman's like, you still can't win with like alone.
Yeah, and then he even went at the Usos talking about you guys are still listening to Roman.
Exactly.
But you guys were your main event, Jey Uso, but you still listen to Roman.
Yeah, and it's teasing back at like that 39 match.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go into another part a little bit of some of the best returns we've had at Mania, because one of my favorite moments at Mania has always been like a lot of the surprise entrances, whether it be like a guest match, whether it be a surprise opponent. That's basically what I meant to say, or just like someone returning. Like those have always been fun. So a few that really stick out to me, like Mitch, you mentioned the Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38 appearing as Seth Rollins' a mystery opponent, which everyone kind of was like, it's got to happen, and then it happened. Another one that really sticks out to me, I think the biggest one that sticks out to me really is when the Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy returned.
I remember that.
It was WrestleMania 35. It was originally the triple threat tag team TLC match, which that match was gonna cook. I mean, a TLC tag team match of any sorts
Already just sounds good, like a good
at
match
Mania.
already.
I mean, it's good. Any ladder match at Mania has been fantastic in my opinion.
Agreed.
And they're like you had the New Day who was coming out. You know, you had them being like, "Oh, we're with the host." They came out in their gears. Like, this match is now a fatal 4-way. Who's the mystery opponent going to be? And I remember in the build up to that Mania, like a lot of people were like, "Oh," like some of the rumor mill was saying that the Hardys were going to return. Some people were like, "I don't know." But then it actually happened, and I lost my mind because I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, that was the first one I actually saw, like, really turn into a reality.
I get that. Yeah.
So I was like, that one was awesome. So that one really sticks out to me. What are some other ones for you guys that like? I mean, like a true return. Now, I don't want to. Obviously, like for example, the Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley coming out at 32. Like that wasn't like a true return. It was just kind of like a surprise one-off, but still a fun moment. Are there any other like types of returns that you guys got to witness or have on your mind that have like that was an awesome moment in one of the ones that stick out for you guys?
For returns, I'm trying to think right now. Actually,
The one I have on the top of my mind is Shane McMahon. Like, because that was WrestleMania, right?
That was WrestleMania 39. Yeah,
He came out
that
there,
was
blew up his quads.
yeah. I
was
remember.
hyped. I was hyped until he blew up his quads, and I was like,
I was too. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he was about to like do like a small run too, and then poof.
quad, just like his dad.
Yeah, like father like son.
Like his dad.
I mean, Snoop Dogg got to do some cool stuff. That was all
Hey,
right.
you got to give props to Snoop Dogg because that was like all unscripted. What he did, he was able to. He cleaned up nice, so that was really smart of him. Really, props to him.
I'll give it to Snoop Dogg. Yeah. I guess I could say it's not really a return, but it semi was. It was at WrestleMania 34, the John Cena versus Undertaker match, because this was both of them were kind of like semi-retired already at the time.
They're both for sure part-time. Obviously Taker was. Cena was starting to transition into that.
Yeah, so with them kind of not being around for most of the year, for them to both kind of come back around Mania time, and then it was kind of like a teasing it, like John Cena kept looking for an opponent. That was the whole storyline, and he couldn't find an opponent even up to the day of WrestleMania. So he decided to just be a guest at WrestleMania, watch the show. But then eventually he did get into the ring. And then you heard the gong, and then the Undertaker came out because they didn't show him for the whole build either. So just finally seeing them both in the ring at Mania, even though the match was pretty short, I think it was only like about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it went pretty quick. It was still good to see like both like kind of my two like goats in the ring together at Mania. So that was a nice moment.
Yeah, you saying 34 makes me. I need to correct myself. The Hardys' return was at WrestleMania 33. So I remember WrestleMania 35 was the show that was like super long, and it had the women's triple threat main event, which that was a really good shot match too.
I mean, we could talk about that. The women's.
Yeah, I was about to actually transition into matches that really surprised you, and like some of those moments that like that's just a feel good moment. And I want to talk about like WrestleMania 35 when we had the Kofi Mania run. That was just epic and awesome. And that's easily like one of my like top 5 favorite like WWE Championship wins ever. It might be. It's probably like ballparking like for me like 3rd of all time. But like that was just one of those like when I got into wrestling was back in like 2013 at WrestleMania 29, and I was always a fan of Kofi Kingston. Just his entire career from when he was a single star to when he was in the New Day to not really much now because I just hate how they're using the New Day. But that's besides the point. I still love Kofi. He's always been really good. One of my favorites. So seeing him finally be able to win that the title, I love that. That was sick.
I agree. It feel like for Kofi being there for how long he was, like
he absolutely deserved it.
He deserved it, definitely. And then I liked the storyline too with him, like getting thrown into the chamber, not randomly, but like he wasn't supposed to be there, so they added him in, and then him going through the gauntlet and just kind of fighting his way up.
Yeah, that gauntlet match with the Big E and Xavier had to fight
for him, yeah, and that made it feel, and it was just a really, like you said, really good feel good moment to finally watch him win that title. I agree.
So that moment, that feeling, what is that for you guys? Like, what's one that you really like?
Really feel good moment.
I gotta think on this one.
I can give another example. The Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30.
See, that was one I had in my mind because I
had a feeling because it was basically the same thing.
So if I were to like go back in my mind and like try and picture where like what I remember most when I was watching as a kid, it was that. Mm-hmm. But I could not like I remember him winning, me being excited, but like I've gone back and watched this since. Like I love it, but in the moment I was just a kid and I was like, you know, blown. Mine was blown.
Yeah.
I mean, I was happy as well. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, that was cool. Having Daniel Bryan have to do 2 fights in one night, fight Triple H, should be able to make it into the match, and then beating Randy Orton and Batista while they were kind of like aligned, sort of like authority / evolution style. Together. So, Kevin, what do you got for me?
I think for me, I thought about it. WrestleMania 37, the main event, it was Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge.
Oh, yeah.
This is when Roman kind of like was just getting peaking with the tribal chief character. And
I was just say this is like when he was finally like showing
it off. And this that might be my favorite character in all the WWE as a tribal chief. So like seeing him, I remember the build up. He told him, he was like, "I'm gonna beat both of you guys, and I'm gonna stack you up, and I'm gonna pin you both." And then he went in there and did exactly that. And when
calling the any plot where you call the shot is always good in my opinion.
Yeah, he did it. He caught it, and then he went to go do it. So like after seeing that, he had me like he won me over at that point. Like I said, I was all down for the tribal chief. I was throwing my ones up ever since then.
Tribal chief.
Literally, like for the next couple years, I was like, I don't know who could beat him. Like every day was like they kept throwing people, and he kept beating them. So
yeah,
until Cody came around, I was really enjoying that run. So
yeah, no, that was really fun. So next one I want to get to is we kind of teased a little bit some of the favorite women's matches of all time because the Mania show isn't all about the men. Of course, the women is, very important. So what are your favorite matches or moments within the women wrestlers at Mania? Whoever wants to take the floor first.
I can go first with this one. It's that same Mania, actually, Mania 37. It was a night one main event. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
I wanted to talk about that because that match was good.
That's like literally one of my favorite women's matches. Like I wasn't a Bianca Belair fan until that match. I kind of thought she was a little bit overrated, but no, seeing her work with Sasha Banks and they put her in the main event, like it was a brutal match. Like I was like, they're hitting harder than the men in this match. Yeah. Like in some of the spots.
I mean, that might have been the best match at that Mania that year. I can't even lie. I think that night one main event was probably the best match. Like it was.
Just as a match,
it still gets so much love today.
And I agree.
The first time like 2 black women got to main event WrestleMania, not just like the fact that they could do like history like that and just absolutely cook too is
because they performed a really, really good match still. Like it's talked about till today.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think for me, my favorite women's match is the it might have been last year. It was Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah,
cinema.
That was another
WrestleMania 41.
I'm such a big Io Sky fan, and I came into that match having zero hope.
Valid.
I was like, the build-up had nothing for Io Sky. It's all like she's literally getting pushed aside, and you have like the little bit of hope because you're like, all right, they're kind of burying her here. So you're like, I really hope she wins because they kind of just treated her like garbage.
Yeah, it was like the match didn't need her, but she needed to be there because she was the champion.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
So it was a weird build, but you're totally right. One of the best matches from last year also. The one for me, I want to say, I have a couple options. I don't want to say the Mania event at 35. The triple threat between Becky, and Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. Because obviously that was a really good match, but that seems cliche. But it's still worth talking about because that was really good. One of my favorite moments of like a women's match, which I know I'm probably going to get some hate for this, is the women's battle royale from WrestleMania 25, where Santina Morella won it. That was like, it's kind of like a slap in the face, but it was kind of funny. But in all honesty, my favorite women's match at Mania involves Rhea Ripley. I want to say it was 39.
Charlotte.
It was Charlotte.
That was another one.
That match, that had me turn my head like,
literally, same way. I feel the exact same way.
yeah, nah, that was.
And that was on the same night as was it Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, or was that SummerSlam? Whatever show that was on, that one was not good.
No.
I think that was SummerSlam.
I think it was SummerSlam.
I'm like getting it mixed up because I remember watching it and I was like, man, this stinks. But like, I was about to say, if that was the match afterwards, it would have been like 10 times better because you can see how low it is and then how high it is. Because I remember they had the same like color scheme. That's like the color scheme is what I'm picturing, like what Mania it is.
Right.
And 39 had that Hollywood like gold. Mm-hmm. SummerSlam's always that yellow goldish.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've changed it up more, but you're right. So as we kind of round this out a little bit, unless there's more you want to talk about, your favorite Mania match of all time, whether it be a top 2, top 3. Do you have like a top 3 you could list out?
I got a top 3 I could list out.
Do you,
matches.
Mitch?
I can come up with one.
Okay, so let's do a top 3 favorite Mania matches of all time. Then
okay, cool.
I'll start it off. Number 3 is Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
Good match right there.
Just an absolute heater. There's a reason a lot of people call it the greatest match of all time. Not just WrestleMania match.
It's match period.
Yes. Like, it is so good. Like an hour. It wasn't an hour long. Yeah, it was. It was an hour-long masterclass between the two.
Yeah, I've heard that's kind of a match you should show. Like, you want to get somebody into wrestling, just throw that match on there, and I should get them.
Yeah, that's one of the exactly. It's one of those you want to show something off. There you go. Yeah. So that's my number 3. Kevin, Mitch, whoever you want to go first.
Like I said, I think I talked about it a little bit earlier. I'll put for my number 3 that Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at 31. Like I said, just because of that, the match itself before the cash in was still like a brawl. I kind of like to see Brock just dominate. I think Suplex City started around there too, which I was a big fan of. And then at the end with the cash in from Seth coming in, that really just solidified that match. Is like in my memory is like definitely top 3. So.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Mitch,
I got 2 and 1. I can't come up with 3.
Okay.
I don't know why. I could think of every match, but I'm like, I don't feel capable. Like that belongs to 3.
See, I have my 3. I have my 1, but I don't have my 2. So I feel you.
See, 2 and 1 I've already mentioned. It's both. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. That's 2. And then one's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
That match for Mania 40.
I'll think of my number 3 and get back to it still. I just got to brew on this.
That's fair.
Something deserving needs to be in that spot. I can't just throw something there. It wouldn't feel right.
Okay.
I feel that one.
All right, so Kevin, you want to dish out your number 2 then?
Yeah, I can. I think my number 2 is actually going to be another Brock Lesnar match, actually. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. And that's the one where the streak actually ended.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think that would ever happen. Like
that's a hot take.
For real?
I mean, people remember the match for the moment, but I don't.
The actual match?
I don't think people remember the match for how good it was. Because I thought it was. I didn't think. I'm not saying it was a bad match.
I get that.
But I thought it was like okay.
I can see why you could call it a hot take too. Definitely.
It was like I think it was like a 3-star match. It was like spectacular, but it wasn't like crappy.
I feel like
it was
going back and watching it again, I can see why people say that, but I'm just remembering kind of more about in the moment around that time, like just the aura of it, like he really just beat the streak, like more of it just being for that moment, honestly, than the match, just because nobody thought the streak could end, and then for the match still going, like having the near falls that it did have and everything, I really did enjoy it just for that.
Yeah. So I have my number 2. And this is kind of like a 2-in-1 match. Okay. But it's definitely the number 2. It's The Rock and Cena between both WrestleMania 28 and 29. I'm going to say 29 because I have more nostalgia with that because that was my first, like I mentioned, the first Mania. I didn't watch it, but when I first got into wrestling was around that time.
Okay.
And so going back in the history books of YouTube, at the time when I was a kid. Just being able to understand the year-long build between The Rock and Cena that started at WrestleMania 27 to an incredible match at WrestleMania 28.
Yes.
And then back to back, not on purpose, but Rock wins the title, Cena wins the Rumble. Cena still beats Punk to face Rock at Mania. You have that match again.
Twice in a lifetime.
I mean, literally, it was the same thing as like the Roman and Cody 39 and 40 main event. It was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was a fantastic match at 28. And then 29, I know it doesn't get as good as reviews, but for me, that's my number 2, just because it's the nostalgia, really. It's just what makes it different. And just seeing Cena win, I wasn't like the biggest Rock person because I was like, oh, bald guy. That was about it. So I was like, yeah, Cena.
I think
it's on Cena.
Actually, I preferred the 28 match, actually.
That's fair. I was kind of once I got, I was like, okay, I know it's one of those two. I was kind of stuck between which one.
And then I think as we've talked, I think I started to realize, I think I like these shocking moments at Mania where like the guy you don't think is gonna lose is lose. Because that's why I like the 28 match, because Cena ends up losing, and like at the time, like nobody, like The Rock's not gonna come back and beat Cena at Mania. And then he came back and beat Cena, because this is like right in the middle, like the Super Cena run, like where he's been like, he's literally like WWE is him, like
yeah, exactly.
So for The Rock to just come back in after going to Hollywood and beating John Cena, it's like that shocker. That's what I think it gave it to me over that 29 match.
Yeah, no, there was I was kind of stuck between the two because like I feel like sometimes I'm like, I like the 28 match more, I like the 29 match more. So right now I'm gonna say I like the 29 match more, but
I got you. It might switch tomorrow, you know.
Maybe.
I got you. So I'm moving the tag team match I said down.
Oh,
you know?
That's number 2.
Usos. Yep, that's 2 to 3.
Oh, 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So
Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19.
Oh yeah, no.
I was actually gonna say that was an honorable
That was the one
mention.
I rewatched, but I could not think of the Mania, and I was like, "No, there's got to be something better than that." No.
Yeah, I got you.
After looking at all of them, that was the one that popped in my head, and I was like, "Yeah."
I was thinking about that on the list, and it's definitely an honorable mention for me because that match was super good. I actually, a fun fact for people that some might not realize, that is the only WrestleMania main event where all wrestlers are using their real like birth name.
Oh, for real?
Between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. I think that's kind of a cool moment, and they lived up to it. I mean, granted, that was the night. It did not end as it wanted to because everyone remembers that match now for Brock Lesnar failing that shooting star press and giving himself a concussion.
Pretty bad.
But everything leading up to that moment was a fantastic match. So you said you put that at number 2?
Yep.
Okay. And your number 1 is?
That was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Cody. Okay. So
the sequel.
Right.
Sequel.
So Kevin, I'm going to go back to you then because you have your top 3. Mm-hmm. Do you have an honorable mention you want to list?
I think honorable mentions, like, they're not great for me. Like, I think, so
it doesn't have to be, I was going to say, it doesn't have to be a good match. It just your favorite match.
I really liked Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. Just him getting belted. That was funny.
That was Oh yeah, that was a good one too. I gotta give you some credit for that.
I have some dishonorable. I have a lot of more dishonorable mentions because I don't like Finn Balor versus Edge. That one stunk.
The Hell in a Cell match.
Yep.
I was expecting. I don't blame you because I liked it, but I was expecting more. I left that match wanting more.
If Edge was gonna win, it just doesn't make sense. Like
it just buried Demon Finn.
Yeah.
Which that was disappointing.
The match was fine, and then they had that stoppage in the middle too because Finn got his head busted open by like the ladder.
Oh yeah, I was like,
not that that's on his fault. It's just watching the match live. It's just like 10 minutes. You're being like, is this guy okay?
Yeah,
I get that.
So, do you have any more dishonorable or honorable mentions?
Sami Zayn versus Gunther was a good match. Shouldn't have been Sami Zayn though. Should have been Chad Gable.
I have to put in Jey Uso and Gunther too.
Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso also had me hyped, and then they put up an absolute stinker.
Yes, that is true.
I genuinely was probably one of the most excited people for that match because I was like, this is peak. Like, if me and my brother had a match, I feel like the chemistry would be off the charts.
Oh, of course.
I don't know how they were so bad.
Yeah. Couldn't really tell you how either. I was excited for that match, and then it super kick party
fell flat on his face. All right, Kevin. Honorable and dishonorable mentions. What do you got?
Some honorable mentions. Mick Foley versus Edge hardcore match at WrestleMania 22. That was like one of my first.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I wanted to say that. I couldn't remember which Mania though.
Yeah, my brother, he kind of got me into wrestling. That was one of the first matches he showed me, and I seen that, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, just the violence, like.
I've always seen that flaming table spot.
I was just about to talk about the flaming table spot.
It's always sticks in my mind. It's like whenever I think about Mick Foley, that's like the first thing I think of. That in the Hell in a Cell with Undertaker, but that wasn't at Mania. But still, like. Mick Foley, like that flaming table spot always sticks out in my brain.
Literally, that's a crazy match. Another one, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. That was a good match at WrestleMania 21. It was like just a real good, like just technical match. Like, just two good wrestlers in the match. Like, you just throw them together, like they was gonna cook. Like,
for sure.
I feel like this year with Seth Rollins and Gunther, we might get something kind of similar. Like just throwing two good wrestlers together. And let them cook.
I'm really excited about that. And stay tuned as well. We're gonna be doing our WrestleMania 42 predictions soon. Tried and true prediction show.
Just stay tuned.
I wanted to definitely obviously do more than just that, but do you have any dishonorable mentions, Kevin?
Dishonorable mentions, it's kind of a concept actually. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm not a fan of that. I remember they used to throw it on the Mania card, and then now it just went to the SmackDown before Mania, and I think I see why, because it's just
I wish it meant more like the first winner, Cesaro, was
that was
great.
actually good. Yeah, when Cesaro won, that was good.
Then
everybody else was just
10 years of just
mediocrity.
You had Mojo Rawley winning because Gronk interfered.
Yeah, like, I remember
that was fantastic.
I think Jey Uso won 1 year.
I think you're right.
Matt Hardy won randomly 1 year, I think.
Because of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, like it's just like literally they just give
Big Show won, which that actually made sense.
Because he's the biggest guy around. Like you think he will win.
But all the way up until Carmelo Hayes winning it last year.
Oh, he won it last year?
Yeah, no, it was good. Everything else up to that was just like, why is this? I've always liked it. I just always hated how it ended up going.
I get that. Yeah, like I feel like it should kind of like a Money in the Bank. Like maybe if you win the Battle Royal, you get like a championship opportunity. Like you can kind of cash in or something like that. If
it actually meant something, then yay. But it hasn't. But I do want to. Speaking of the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, no one realizes this. But as soon as it happened, I recognized it. So, fun fact here, back in I think it was WrestleMania 32, Tatanka returned quietly. Oh. No one really knows who Tatanka is. He was kind of like a Native American character. And the guy is actually Native American too, so it's not offending anyone. Okay. That is legit. But he was like a classic like Native American character from like the 90s, 80s, I think.
Okay.
He made a one-off appearance in that, and like no one really talked about him. Like, yo, that's Tatanka
from like 20, 30 years ago.
That's cool. So that was funny. But all right. So we got some dishonorable mentions. We got our honorable mentions. Mitch, you got your list. Kevin, what's your number one favorite WrestleMania match of all time?
I think my favorite one, WrestleMania 39 main event, actually, that Roman versus Cody won. I like that one.
Where Roman beat Cody.
Yeah, where Roman beat Cody. And just because I thought Cody was going to win that one. I thought the story was going to be over first trial round.
I did too. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, because Roman, or I think he was approaching the 1,000 reign, so I didn't think he was actually going to get the 1,000. I thought they was going to cut him short, like just so he can't have it, like something he could still work forward to. But no, they had Roman. With the help of the bloodline, of course, you know.
Yeah, true. That was Solo Sikoa's debut on the main roster.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because he's the one who really caused Cody, like holding him back and hitting him with the spike, and then Roman spearing him, and then it's like that's how Mania ends with Roman going over for. I think that was like the 3rd year in a row. So like I said, I was a big Roman fan. So at that point, I'm like. 3 years in a row, he just keep it on forever at that point. Let him retire with it at that point.
He's going to beat Bruno Sammartino's record.
I didn't think
4,000 days coming up.
He'll still be champion now, and I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah. I mean, his matches were good, though, so I
even that match, it was a good match.
It was a really good match.
And I also enjoyed that match more because it was less, like, the spots. I enjoyed the spots at 40 with, like, Cena and The Rock and Taker coming out, but I feel like that kind of took away from, like, the actual, like, in-ring performance, where 39 had a lot better in-ring performance between Cody and Roman.
Yeah, for sure. I get what you're saying. So my number one match of all time is again at WrestleMania 28. It is the Triple H against Undertaker in Hell in a Cell with a special guest of Shawn Michaels. That first time I watched that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
That match is also a great match.
Like that was just
I forgot all about
barn burner. That was easily the best Hell in a Cell match of all time, in my opinion, at least. I think it was the best Undertaker Mania match of all time. You had Triple H, you had Shawn Michaels kind of like sometimes teaming up on each other, like on Taker, sometimes not, just trying to beat him. Because you had 2 years in a row of Shawn trying to beat him. Then this is the second year in a row of Triple H trying to beat him. And now it's kind of like a whole thing of like DX unintentionally trying to take down Undertaker for 4 years and just can't do it. So this is like, they marked it like they were, I remember pushing, like seeing, going back in time, seeing that like it was the end of an era that they were pushing, because it really was like the end of an era of like WWE led by Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker. Those were really like the big three through like the 90s and a lot of like the 2000s, as like some of the newer guys were coming up, and they were still like some of the top dogs within the company. And a lot of that kind of continued for like the early, like through like the early 2010s,
I agree.
where you had the return of like the 2010 DX run, which that was really fun. Like granted, it was PG era, so it wasn't as raunchy as they are known for, but it's still good.
Oh yeah.
So just having that final build of like those guys interacting with each other, their last match together, ignore the Super Showdown match where Kane returned as well, because that was awful.
It wasn't at Mania, so we don't gotta
It was
talk
not
about
at Mania. The final match of Triple H, like an active Triple H, an active Shawn Michaels, not really, but an active Undertaker.
That 28
At Mania, that was just peak wrestling for me.
Yeah, that the spot where it's the sweet chin music
Into the pedigree. Yeah.
I thought it was over with, and then when Undertaker kicks, that's like probably the best kick out I think in WWE history. Like I thought it was that it should have been over with. Still, I think to this day, like you hit with two of like the best finishers ever, and he kicks out.
So that's my top three. Is there any more you guys want to talk about, whether it be like matches, just anything about Mania before we get into this year's event?
Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. That was one, right? I'm not just like it happened. I'm just trying to think
I think it was WrestleMania
21,
20. Right? Yeah, 21, because they were tag champions actually.
See, that's peak.
Yeah.
See, just straight up telling the audience, yeah, we don't hate each other, but like we kind of want to fight. Like,
literally just to see who was better. Like that's peak.
Yeah,
that was really good. I agree.
See, a lot of my experience comes from playing the You'll play like the 2K showcases, and then I go back and watch them.
Yeah.
So I really like I like that one because it was in the Rey Mysterio one. Ricky Steamboat versus Warrior, I think it was.
Oh,
that one's a gem from like way back.
Oh yeah.
Like, I watch other ones from that time, and it's like snooze fest. That one's peak.
Yeah,
they were cooking back then.
I was actually about to bring up the 2K showcase because my first one was the one with Stone Cold in 2K16.
That was mine too. Yeah,
so I wasn't about to talk about WrestleMania 13, the submission match between him and Bret Hart. Was really good. Like still like that's again one of those matches that have always like been like a top 5 Mania match ever for a lot of people.
For me, actually, we speaking on Bret Hart. I like the match the year previous against Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man match for an hour at WrestleMania 12. That's a great match because like they went.
You mean 12?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, WrestleMania 12. Because they went a whole hour with no pinfalls. Then they had to go into sudden death still just to get one fall. I was like, oh, that's peak right there.
Oh yeah, no, that's how you make a good Mania.
And then I think it's 17 with Stone Cold and The Rock.
Oh yeah, where
really
Stone
good.
Cold turned heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite video packages of all time, just because of how it's really good, but it's also used in like sports all the time. The one with "My Way" by Limp Bizkit playing in the background. It's so funny in the cases that they use it, but it's actually a good video package too.
I was gonna say WrestleMania 17. A lot of people regard as the greatest WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, because is that also the one with the ladder match?
Yeah,
it was the Hardys.
The first triple threat ladder match with the Hardys, Dudley Boys, and then Edge and Christian.
I wanted to talk about that match too, yeah, because that's another one of my favorite matches too. Because I love.
I definitely wanted that. Definitely an honorable mention for me as well.
Yeah, me too. Because the spear from the top of the ladder, when Jeff was holding on, and Edge speared her from the top. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
I am a huge fan of just stipulation matches. I always have been. Now I haven't gotten to like AEW like death matches or like any of like that, but like some of like that stuff like I've always enjoyed.
A good ladder match, good Hell in a Cell match.
I've always enjoyed Extreme Rules or the Table Ladders Chairs events because those are always just stipulation filled, and some of them are like they try something new, like the stairs match at TLC and stairs. Yeah, people hated on that. I thought it was cool because there's like something different.
Stairs match.
I remember the Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho match at Extreme Rules where they did the Insane Asylum match.
The Ambrose Asylum? Yeah, I remember
that. The Ambrose Asylum where it was like it was just a steel cage, but like at the top there was like a little walkway and there's like weapons hanging up from the top as well that were like interesting. But getting out of the whole outside of WrestleMania, I love stipulation matches. Yeah, the TLC was really good. I'm kind of stuck on look at WrestleMania 32. You had the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shane McMahon. I really like that match, but at the same time, I feel like it should be a dishonorable mention because it was really. I really liked it, but a lot of people hate it.
I personally really enjoyed the match. I like seeing Shane still was going, like he jumped off the top of the cell. Like,
that spot was insane.
Yeah, like Shane was still going. Like even though he had all gray in his hair, he was still as crazy as ever.
See, the thing is with Shane McMahon, I'll never like not respect his. I'll always respect his in-ring ability. Yeah, because he wasn't the greatest wrestler. Everyone knows that, but he would try anything.
He would try.
Like, literally, you could tell him like, hey, we know you can't do like a shooting star press, but like, could you try? And he'd be like, I mean, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like some of the most insane spots in history have just been like he's been the one taking it.
Yeah, him getting thrown into the glass by Kurt Angle and
twice, and it wasn't supposed to happen either.
That's crazy.
I remember the one he get hit off the top of the Titantron with the kendo stick, and he just falls like 30 feet.
That's one of those moments like everyone just always like looks back on that. It's like that moment. Literally. So I'm really excited about this Mania season. The build has been kind of slow, a little quick.
I can agree.
But I'm really excited about it. So stay tuned. We'll be getting another episode out soon. Probably the week of Mania. Is it next week? It's not next week, is it?
I want to say the 18th.
That's 17th. Next week.
That's next week then?
Oh my gosh. It really is next.
That's maybe.
I think so, yeah.
I guess so. So yeah, I guess stay tuned in for next week where we will be getting our predictions of that card out. So thanks again, guys, for joining in today.
Of course.
Great show, I guess. And really excited again. Looking forward to seeing Mania this year. So I was joined here today by Kevin McCoy.
It was nice to talk to you guys again.
Yes, sir. Mitch Kobie.
Pleasure.
I'm your host, Matt Willis. Thanks again for tuning in to the Ring Rundown.